Seems legit. Hey Legitimates, welcome back. Today I have another really quick little project for you. We are using my Vevor heat press with the cap section and my xtool laser machine to laser a beautiful iron-on patch and then obviously iron it onto the hat. So this was a cheap hat that I got locally at Kmart. And there is a link below on where to get them. So let's go, let's get started. Alright, so first things first, we're going to need to adjust the height. I'm going to I have a whole bag of these options, and we're just going to do my logo on a little round one, because I thought that'd be cool. So we need to put that down. Oh, I've hurt my knees, just bear with me while I get down here. And so I'm just going to bring it over here, like this. Lift this part up here and drop it down until it hits the leather. So this one gets a lot closer than my other laser. So now that it's the right height, so it can pass over it, we're actually going to go back to home. Because I like it to know that it's home and it gets in the right position. If you were doing multiples, it's always good to be home so that you can have them all lined up in exactly the same spot. With that being said, we also need to know what size this is. So I'm going to use my micrometer, which is a fancy thing for an electronic measuring thing. So I want to only do it just inside the lines, so 38.61 millimeters. I work in millimeters because we're in Australia. I also find it's nice and accurate. 38. Okay, so now I've got it selected on the screen. I'm going to take the positioning point and position it in what's going to be the center of the design. And I've got my little cross hatch here, so I'm just going to also line that up in the center. I need to make sure that I've got my thing offset, so my point is enabled. So this laser's got the offset pointer, so I know where the center is. I'm now going to frame with the circle function, so it should just fit in there beautifully, which it does. Yay. The last thing we need to do is to work out power, so I'm going to do 50-50, so 50 speed, 50% power. I want one pass, and I'm hoping that'll be enough. So, let's go. You can even keep this real time so I can chat to you while we're going. Also, safety goggles. They're not the most flattering thing to wear, but they will keep your eyes. I've got the green ones. One of them come with orange, one come with green. I'll switch it up. Sometimes the green goggles make me feel sick, so I put the orange ones on. This looks like it's going to be slightly off. Oh, that's disappointing. We'll let it run so I can show you. Actually, no, we're going to stop. There's no point in wasting everyone's time. Stop, send it home so I can show you what just happened. See how the circle's going slightly off? That was probably my poor lining. That's alright though. So, what I'm actually going to do is take away the circle. Taking away the circle just leaves me with the words. So again, I'm going to line it up in the center. Select the words, line it up in the middle. So that's the middle. I'll grab another one. I can even grab an oval one. That will also work. You also might want to actually find the center. I'm just going to fold this over. There's my center that way. There's my center that way. You can actually just line up your folds. Kind of cool. So let's frame that and see what we've got now. I can make that a little bit bigger now that I'm doing an oval. So I'm just going to to take up the whole space. I like a little bit of negative space. That looks better. Alright. Make sure the center is the center. I just like to check one last time because of the last one, and off we go again. So this is still 50% power, 50 millimeters per second. I like to work in seconds and not minutes. No real reason, I just prefer it. So this whole bag I got off, I believe it was AliExpress, and it was, or maybe it was Amazon. I actually don't remember. I will link it below what I purchased, but I think it was about $20 for all of them. So I just bought the assorted size. So in there we get a rectangle, an oval, and a circle, and they are all the light tan color. I've had a look around. These ones seem to be the most popular color. You can get them in black. Some of them you can get, and they're like a dark color, and then when you laser off the top layer, it's a different color underneath. They did look very cool, but they were a lot more expensive compared to just the basic brown. You can also get the dark brown, but again, I find that this color seems to be the most popular that people use. So those are the 3 sizes that you get. They're all the same height, they're just different widths because of the shapes. So it just depends on what you're after or what your customer's after. But you could make Christmas hats, or if you're all going to Disneyland together, you could do Disneyland hats or whatever. I do think it's a very cool idea. So I could probably laser a little bit less. I could either make the laser less, or I could up the speed of the movement. You could go either way with this. These would also be really, really cool to do on their new F1 machine because they are quite small. You could line it up a lot better than I did. Lining up's never been my super strong suit. I know that about myself. It's fine. But this will look nice. And as always, I will be using alcohol wipes to clean off the residue. Twisted my knee earlier today. It's really hard to get up and down. So all of this part's joined, and then it'll go back and do the IT in legit. And I have these very cute little alcohol wipes. They're basically single use, but they're only like this big, so I'm not wasting a whole baby wipe to clean them. They were $4 for a pack of whatever, 50 pack, and you get them from the supermarket. I find them really, really handy to when I'm doing just like the occasional thing. And because they're individually wrapped, they don't dry out or anything. So that's nearly the top done. And now it's just got to do the I and the T. Now these are faux leather, but they are designed to be lasered or embroidered actually. I could have also just done the outline of the words, which I think would also look cool, and we might do that in a second. So, I'm going to take the glasses off. This is what we got, and it's got a little bit of residue, so I'm just going to, see, like it's already quite dirty. That's probably a little bit deep, but I don't know if I'm mad about that. So I'm going to clean the whole thing. But there we go. So that seems legit fully done. Now I just want to do it. I'm just going to switch it to line instead of fill. And again, I'm going to find the center, which is there. Grab another one out of the bag. And then whichever one I like better is the one we're going to use on my hat. Not that I wear my hat often. It'll be mainly worn out at the horse. Alright, so we find the center. You can also draw it, folding it's just quicker, in my opinion, like that. And then we'll just frame it to make sure it fits. I've got it pretty even, and then goggles on, and then go. So this will be nice and quick because it's just the outline. But sometimes this can look better, honestly. And it's finished already. I've got mine automatically set for home. I like it like that. So that's what it looks like with just the outline. I'm actually not sure which one I like more. Right, let's change this over. So we take a screwdriver and we're just going to loosen this one and this one. So it has the holes to make it easy to do. The first time I did this, I did all of these, which was just a pain. Right, and so then it should just, if you've made it loose enough, which I may or may not have, should just slot backwards. You just need to make them loose enough that it can move. Then I'm going to lift it up and slot this like that, and then that one drops out completely. So from there, we grab the other one. So this is the top plate for caps, and I'm just going to loosen these off. You want to loosen them, but make sure you don't unscrew them enough that they actually come completely out. Then, coming from this angle, we go up, and that one's not quite loose enough, like that, and then in and down. So it's only 2 screws you actually have to fiddle with, and then we plug this in up here, matching up the 4 points, so it's got a full pin. You want to match up the pins, and there's a little groove. So you're going to match that up as well. It'll only go on one way, and then we screw it and do it up like that. And that's the top bit done. These are the foam boards, so they just come off. And then for the underneath bit, these are just wing nuts. You take all 4 of them off, and then we can replace the base. I've sped this up because you don't need to watch me do this on slow-mo. So if you lift it straight up, it's good. Otherwise, I just kind of rocked it back and forth, and then we put the hat one in the middle, and then use 2 of your wing nuts to put it back down. You want to make sure that you push it all the way down so it's nice and secure. So this is now what the machine looks like, and you want to swivel this here. Will actually raise it up higher. So you want to be able to pass over without knocking it nice and smoothly, but when we put it down, you want it to be able to clip all the way down. So that feels good. Let's get the hat. Okay, so this is a brand new, it's a ponytail cap, which means it has a hole in the back to put your ponytail through. It was $6 from Kmart, so it's nice and cheap. I'm just going to push that back like that, and then bring the hat over and forward so it's on the hat thing, past the brim. So you want the brim out of the way. And then I think I've decided to go with the fully engraved one. I do like the subtle one as well. Oh, maybe I want, no, I want this one. So I'm just going to lay that where I want it to be. Actually, I might heat the brim up first. Oh. So I'm just going to squish this down, just to heat it up just a little bit. Can't hurt. I might even raise that up a bit. And then that way, hopefully, it will help that sit on there. So I'm just lining up the middle with that middle seam. You can get hats that don't have a seam. That's also fine. And because it is vinyl, I'm going to be using a Teflon sheet. If you don't have a Teflon sheet, or yet, or yours is buggered, or whatever, you can instead grab baking paper from your kitchen. That will also work. So I'm going to put it behind it like this, and I'm just going to check on it once more to make sure it's where I want it, and make sure that it's even. And then I'm going to lay that over. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't knock it. See how it's not high enough, and it's going to knock it out of the way? That's not what we want at all. See how that just happened? Now I'm worried it's moved, and it did. So I'm just going to do this. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. But like everything, this is my first time and I just video the whole process. All right, let's make that much, much higher. I don't actually know if it'll go too much higher than that. That's all right. Get it lined up. The worst thing I can do is try and do it before it's ready and wreck it. Doesn't matter that I've got to try several times. And again, if I was doing a bunch of hats, the first one's fiddly, and then after that, it's probably a breeze. So, there. Bring that around. Ah, there we go. And then squish it down. And this is just my always setting. So 180 degrees for 8 seconds should do it. I hope. It beeps to let me know we're done. Lift the handle up, slide it away. And we got like halfway. So it's kind of on. We're not finished. It's not finished being set, but it is partly on. So that's good. I want to make sure that it's right under the hat. So a good way to do that would be to put that there. Just to make sure. That's not a very good squish. Because I've raised it up so much, it's not squishing as well. I'll do 8 seconds from now. I know that makes it about 12 seconds, but that's all right. You can always lift it up early. It's not set to that. You can lift it up whenever you want. That looks better. Look at that. Peel off the weird sticker. But that's now a hat. That was pretty quick, really. Oh my gosh, the sticker is really stuck. There we go. So, I mean, it's quite hot under there. Don't touch that bit. But that's really, really cute. It's a really quick project. I'm starting to have regrets. I think I wanted that one now, but that's all right. I can always go and buy another hat. At $6, they're not that expensive. I'm sure you can get hat blanks online if you wanted to do like a mass order. I'm just going to turn that off. Doesn't need to be on anymore. But super cute and super quick. Great gift idea, especially for like dudes that wear hats all the time. You could put like Father's Day's coming up. You could put best dad ever on a thing, or #1 dad, or I don't know, best dad in the galaxy, and do like a Star Wars theme. You could also put them on the side here. They don't have to just be on the brim. You could put them to the side. You could put one not here at the back, but you could put them anywhere. I'm just putting it on the front because that's like the standard thing to do. But there you go, guys. I hope that was fun. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.